Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I get to talk to you today about one of my very favorite things to grow. I mean, I have a lot of things I love to grow, but tomatoes, all kinds of tomatoes. That is my favorite thing. I grow all sizes, all shapes, all colors, and tomatoes with different tastes. So I just wanted to sit here, grab yourself a cup of tea, a glass of tea or something like I did. And let's just talk about kinds of tomatoes that you might possibly want to grow. Now I'm cutting back a little this year, but honestly, I've still got 20 varieties here. And so when I put a handful of seeds in each pot, that's not counting what I have in pots downstairs that I seed saved from last year. So, but when I put just a handful of each of these in there, that turns into a lot of plants. So it's a lot of tomatoes. Anyway, tomatoes are amazing. They're beautiful. Use them. I can with them. I make salsa with them. We eat them fresh, make salads, eat them on a hamburger, whatever you want. But I want to tell you today some of my very favorite kind of tomatoes. Some of them will be new, a couple of them, but for the most part, I'm not going with new this year. I'm going with old, tried, and true that I love. And I'll explain about each one as we go through them. So the first tomato I want to talk about is my Sunrise Bumblebee. It's a little stripy. It's about the size of a large cherry tomato. It's sweet. They're great in salads. That's where I use them. I mean, if I have a ton of them, I'll throw them in my salsa as well. But these are one of my favorite, and they're so pretty. They're orange and yellow striped. So I hope you can see that really well. But that is one of my favorite tomatoes, and I will grow these again. So I've got some of those going. I'm going to do a solar flare tomato. It's a red and orange striped tomato. And to be honest with you, this is a meaty tomato, but it's not one that I've grown a lot in the past. So this is going to be one that I add to my bunch this year. It's really pretty though. Okay, one of my tried and true favorites, Dr. Witchy's tomato. It's a bright orange tomato, good beefsteak size, delicious flavor. In fact, this is my go-to for a tomato sandwich. This and the Kellogg's breakfast, both are go-to. Let me pull it out also. Kellogg's breakfast for a tomato sandwich. That is on the top of my list. And I will use these in salsa. I try to go as much red in salsa so that the acid content is high. But these are two of my favorite tomatoes. So you really can't tell them apart, except I believe Kellogg's breakfast is usually a little bit larger. So I have those. I have a pink bumblebee, which is like the other bumblebee, but this one is red and orange stripe. They're just beautiful. These make the prettiest little salads. So if you haven't tried any bumblebee, just try to get yourself seeds from one of them. And try them, because you will not be disappointed. They have a lot of tomatoes on them, so that's fun. Okay, last year I did the Evil Olive. I don't know if y'all remember. I'm actually showing you this. I'm not going to do Evil Olive this year. I'm out of seeds, and I honestly wasn't impressed enough to buy new seeds, so we're not going to do him. But I do remember talking to you about him last year, so it was just a really hard plant to keep going. I babied them. I had to put them in pots. They just, I don't know. And normally I will try something more than 1 year, but because I'm cutting back a little bit, well, if I have a seed in here, let me look. I have about 5 seeds in here. Okay, so I have to go with trying it again. So I'm going to do that. It's a tiny little green olive tomato. So because I do have a couple of seeds, I thought I was out. So I'll go ahead and give these one more shot. After this year, if they're difficult and hard, I will not do them again. But we'll try them because I got the seeds. So why not? Amish paste. This is one of my big go-tos. I use this in salsa. I use it for spaghetti sauce. Amish paste are like a Roma tomato that's just bigger. And these are huge and they're delicious. They're very meaty. So if you like to can tomatoes, that's one. Mortgage Lifter. Mortgage Lifter is a big beefsteak tomato, very prolific, easy to grow, beautiful texture, beautiful flavor, great on a hamburger. You should probably try these if you haven't. They got their name because some guy grew them and decided he was going to pay off his mortgage by selling tomatoes. So he did. And this is the ones he grew. I have a monster tomato. It's just a round red tomato. I don't, you know, when it says giant monster tomato, it's a Ferry Morse seed. That means it's a what kind of tomato? I don't really know, but it was just a big, round, nice tomato, and so I'm going to do it again. Okay, black cherry, that's a definite go-to. That's a cherry tomato, a large cherry tomato. Sweet, dark red, purplish red actually, pretty in a salad. Mixing the bumblebees and this together, if you're doing a tomato salad with like garlic and olive oil and maybe some fresh mozzarella cheese or something, this is great. So definitely try these. This is good. Oh, my dog wants back in. Let me go get her. I'll be back. Okay, now that we have the dog under control, let's go back to our tomatoes. A Paul Robeson is a nice dark tomato, just a little round tomato. It doesn't feel like I have very many seeds in here. I have about 5, so we're going to do that again. I really did like this one, so you might want to try that. Dark Galaxy tomato. I've grown these a couple of years, and I was never impressed with them until last year. That's why it's important to try something more than once. These were actually amazing, and these were beautiful. And I think I have some of these downstairs going, where I just sprinkled them. I showed you that in another video. When I was seed saving, I didn't sprinkle them. I actually sliced the tomatoes and put it in a pot of dirt, and then just put some dirt on top and put it in a cool, dry place and let it dry out. And when it's time to plant, I will pull those out, water them, and I think I got Dark Galaxy in there, so I hope I do because I'm out of seeds in here. But this is a tomato you would love, and it looks like this. It's just that beautiful. So try it if you haven't. Thornburg's Terracotta. I grew these last year. That was my first time. It's a bright, deep terracotta orange tomato. I did like them. I'm gonna do it one more year and see if it's something I want to keep. I'm kind of on the fence with it, but it had a delicious flavor. It did. But it's pretty to use in something when you're using fresh tomatoes. So I'm going to do it one more year and see if it's something that I want to keep. But they were so pretty and I wanted to try them. So I'm going to give them another shot this year. And I was happy with them. I grow so many things that I have to, pick and choose because I can't have everything, right? Okay. The Dr. Witchies I told you about. I think I've already talked about Dr. Witchies. So I've got 2 pack of seeds in here because it's one of my favorites. So if you've never tried a Dr. Witchies, I'm probably not even saying it right, but that's what other people call it. So I'm calling it Dr. Witchies. It's W-Y-C-H-E-S. It's a tomato worth growing. So if you haven't tried Dr. Witchies, try it. I have a pink boar tomato I'm going to grow this year. I saw it in their magazine and I thought it looked really delicious. I'm going to try it. This is a new one for me. I think we're not quite down to new ones. I have the Castellata Florentino. This was an Italian tomato. In some of my posts and some of my videos, you're going to see clusters of tomatoes hanging on a vine. That was these. They grow like grapes, and it's an Italian tomato. very dark red, the darkest red tomato I've ever seen. And it's kind of fluted, like, you know, kind of mushroomy. I don't know. It's a beautiful tomato. Definitely, I love these, and I'm going to do them again. Because I love them so much, I bought a new seed this year called Mushroom Basket, and it looks very similar. They're very, they have a lot of frills on them, so. But they're, let's see, the thing says, it's a favorite tomato from Russia. Ribbed and pleated, but uniform and large, firm flesh with sweet, mild flavor. Not very seedy. So that's a good tomato. I don't know. I'm going to try it this year. It doesn't look very seedy on the pictures where they've cut one on here. But because this one was so amazing and this one looks similar, I'm like, yeah, I saw this year. It's a Mushroom Basket tomato and I have to have it. I have to try it. This will be one of my new ones. I'm so excited. Okay, another new one is Orange Hat. It's a tiny little tomato. You can grow it in a pot. But I thought, what a fun thing to even give as a gift for somebody who wants a patio tomato, whatever, and has a little, you know, bite of tomato once in a while. It's a small plant. It's a small fruity tomato. I've not tried these before, but this is my first year to do it. So these are from Baker Creek, so I don't know. I hope you look on there, get at their catalog, or get on, it's rareseeds.com. They have some of the most amazing tomatoes you've ever seen, tomato seeds. So try that. But I'm excited to try this for a new one this year. I've limited my new stuff to very few. So anyway, tomatoes are from the nightshade family. So, you know, if you have arthritis issues and stuff, you have to kind of watch how many of these you eat. But they're so fun to grow, and you can do so many things with tomatoes. And cooking them in salsa and stuff helps. I use those. Okay, the last one. I say the last one, but you know I'm going to go to the greenhouses. I'm going to find a plant that I need to buy, because I always do. I can't help myself. I'm an addict. And I would like to tell you I'm a recovering addict, but I'm not. I'm just a seed addict. Okay, this was a free seed last year. It's called a tomato spoon. And it's a tiny, tiny little tomato. And what I did with these is mostly we just munched on them when we were out in the garden. They're so sweet and so tiny. It's a tiny little tomato. They're the size of what? They're the size of maybe a little berry or something. They're the size, well, they're smaller than some blueberries. That's how small they are. But they're delicious. But what I did with these mostly is I would pick a stem or 2 or 3 of them. And when I gave a gift basket of fruits and vegetables, I would lay this on top. And people could just munch on them and eat them. And they're so sweet and so good. And it made for a beautiful gift. So, and my husband and I would just pick a stem off of these. They'll ripen, like a whole stem will ripen, and you can just pinch that stem off and then just eat the little berries off of it. So this was fun, and I hope they turn out this year like they did last year, because if they do, this will be an always thing that I have in my garden, because I did love them. They vine around everything kind of too. They're kind of a viney tomato. So anyway, put them where they can climb around, but that was a fun tomato. Okay, that was 20 tomatoes I just brought to you of my favorite things. You know, there's one I forgot. And I'm going to have to, I have the seeds and I'm going to have to dig them out. I don't know where it is. So I have 21 because I will not ever not grow a Brandywine tomato. I have pink Brandywine and I have red Brandywine tomato. And those are a big beefsteak tomato. They're very prolific and they're awesome, awesome tomatoes to grow. Especially if you want to can, if you want to make salsa, if you want to eat them. They're just fresh on a hamburger or whatever, or just slice a beautiful plate of tomatoes to go with your dinner. Brandywine is a good one to have. So anyway, I am so excited because in the next couple of days, we're gonna go down and we're gonna plant these down under my lights. Now, I get excited and I tend to plant my tomatoes ahead of time. They tend to grow a lot faster than the peppers do, and they germinate faster than peppers. They don't have to have the heat to germinate that the peppers do. So I tend to get excited and get these going a little bit early, and then I have these tall plants when it comes time to plant that I shouldn't have. Always think I shouldn't have planted them so soon, but I did. So I'm gonna try. It's hard. I have to hold myself back. I'm gonna try to not plant these yet. So hopefully I can use restraint and not plant them. But it is February the 20th today. So I'm going to try to plant them though within the week. I'm sure I'll plant them within the week. But I'm going to try to wait as far into the week as I can. So they will not be too tall and spindly when I get them out. I mean, a tall and spindly tomato you can still use. It's not a problem because we take the leaves off up far and then bury it in the dirt, and all of those little nodules on the stem turn into roots, so it actually makes for a healthy plant. So it's not a problem, but my little space down there under my grow lights is limited, and when I have all these big huge plants, sometimes it's just a bit overwhelming. So I'm gonna try to hold on, but who knows. So anyway, okay, get ready. Get your tomato seeds ready. I've given you 20 of my happy favorite, 21 now because of the Brandywines. So 21 of my favorite tomatoes. I actually think I have Brandywines downstairs that I dried from last year, but I'll check. I'll have to pull them out. I've got 3 trays of tomatoes down there that I started. So anyway, get your tomato seeds ready because that's going to be the next thing we're going to plant. Well, we might plant onions first. I told you we were going to plant onions, and I haven't done that. So we might do our onions next. So, but tomatoes are going to be within the week. So get your seeds all together and get them ready. Thank you so very much for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope that you will like, subscribe, and share this video. Also, I have a garden club where you can ask me questions one-on-one. I will put the link down in the comments. So if you can join my garden club, it would be so much fun. I've got a group of people, like-minded people that want to grow stuff. They're from actually all over the world, and I even have someone from India on there, and he grows orchids. So I hope that you're watching this. I hope he's watching it so that he can see that I mentioned him because he's been such a faithful follower. So anyway, it's fun to see what people in other countries and the other weather conditions in this country even can grow and what does well there. And so we all have input, and we may try to do some lives or something so this year because I really want to get your interaction into my garden club. So if you want to join that, like I said, I'll put the link in the comments. Join. It's free to join. So anyway, I hope to see you on the other side in the garden club. Thanks so much for joining me today.